Hi everybody, this is Bill Black at Spirit River. I want to show you how to tie a geezer caddis. A little story behind this caddis. Some of the old guys at LL Bean had asked me to work on designing a caddis that they could actually see. And I love to use CDC, and it's a very cool material, floats really well. So what we've designed is a CDC geezer caddis. The way we've done it is we've taken our airflow cut wings and used that for a wing. We've used CDC puff white on the tip as an indicator, and then underneath we put CDC hackle and a CDC underwing and a dove body. It's a pretty easy fly to tie. It's a really effective fly to fish, and it's easy to see. So let me show you, or let me attempt to show you how to make one. Put your hook in the vise, make sure it's level, make sure your vise isn't spinning on you. What I like to do here is add just a base of thread. You always want to put a base of thread on your stuff. Then I'm going to take one of these CDC Airflow caddis wings, and I'm going to cut it out of the foam package. So that's out of there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this right at the front. And once I get a couple wraps and get that tied in and make sure it's on top of the hook, I fold it back over to see the length. You want this to extend to at least to the end of the hook, maybe a little bit longer, and this one is just a touch longer, which is what I like. Okay. Again, I'm struggling with that to get it so that it's right on top of the hook, because you're going to fold that down later. Next, I take one of our dubbing dispensers with fine and dry, and I'm going to take just a little bit of fine and dry. I'm going to add it to the hook, make my noodle. I don't think I got nearly enough, but caddis have kind of a fat little body, so I make this guy fairly plump versus a mayfly body. When I dub, I always go a couple times like that, and then I just go in one direction, and it seems to make the dubbing nice. Now if you'll look, that's a perfectly tapered body, small on one end and it gets bigger as it goes forward. Okay, now we're going to take some CDC. Pull CDC out of your package. Spirit River has some really nice CDC, and we don't just throw it into a bag. It's all stacked and looked at for quality. So anyway, pull some of it out and match a couple pieces up. I've matched very similar feathers, and then what you do is you just kind of go in here to the middle and you clip it right at the stems. Okay, what that does is it kind of produces a V for you, and then I'm going to go in and just nip all those. So if you look at it, you're going to see a really nice V. I lay that V over the top of the fly, and I'm taking a wrap. Now I'm not wrapping that stem in. I mean, you can if you want, but there we go. Now we've got some legs. I trim that out. Now what you can also do is you can go back in, you can trim that, and you've got enough material for your next fly. I'll show you how to do a done later on in another program. Now we're going to put a little CDC puff underwing. These are a little different than the normal CDC long feathers that you see, and there's not very many on a bird. So what you want to do, this is going to be an underwing, so I measure this to about the length of the body, a little bit shorter than the overall length of the hook, and I tie that in. So now you've got CDC legs sticking out on each side, and you've got a CDC underwing for buoyancy. I'm going to go forward here, and now I again take a little bit of dubbing And I'm going to create a kind of a round little thorax right in the front. This is what we're going to pull the foam over. We pull that wing over the top. We go around. So now we got the foam going over the dubbing, and all that's left is a indicator, which again is a little CDC puff. If you just lick your fingers a little bit, you can really spin it and make it very manageable while you use it. Of course, it'll puff back up later on. Go in right on top of the hook. It refuses to let, I'm going to have to clip it off here. There we go. I pull that back, and I take a few wraps. You don't need a whole lot. And my whip finish goes right there, back behind that thorax. And I'll put a drop of glue right there. And if you want to be particular, you can do one underneath. And anyway, this is a beautiful little CDC caddis, geezer caddis, easy to see. I think you'll love to fish this. Again, this is Bill Black at Spirit River. I want to thank you for the support. Watch our videos and comment on them, and we'll have more to come. Talk to you later.